Welcome to Let's Talk Procurement, the only show you need to master the art of procurement. So, just me today. I thought I'd record a quick introduction as what you're about to hear is a bit of a mashup between a combination of a couple of recordings that we've done. So the first one that you'll hear is the first ever time that myself and Luke recorded something. The audio is pretty bad, especially for me because I'm sat further away from the microphone. We really didn't know what we were doing, even less than we do now, to be fair. But there's a few bits in there that absolute comedy gold. So we thought, can't starve the people of the content. Want to put it out there anyway. It's probably just about bearable. So kind of as a reward for surviving that first part, the second section is us rambling on a little bit and eventually getting to talk about future contents of the podcast and kind of what we want to get out of it a little bit. But we hope you enjoy it and are looking forward to the next proper episode, I suppose. But for now, here's the next section of pure ear pleasure. So hope you enjoy. See you later.
Welcome to Let's Talk Procurement.
This is all getting kept in, by the way, in the edit.
The only show you need to master the art of procurement. Let's go. So, I guess, who are we? Who are you?
Who am I? I am procurement's hottest man voted for in the election.
I don't think that's a competition, but we'll go with it.
Oh, it should be. Maybe that's what we should start on this podcast. Yes, that can be our first viewer engagement. Is send in whoever you think's the hottest
Procurement professional,
yeah. And it'll be they get the little sashes to wear, and you have to wear it in all negotiations once you win it. You put it after your name in the email.
Procurement
voted as procurement's hottest man 2023.
Are you assuming it's a man? Don't want to get arrested. Procurement's next top model.
Yes.
But as you know, procurement's not just about looks, is it? Of course.
Well, yeah, it's not about just the surface. It's about underlying cost,
Yeah, the full package.
Maintenance fees you might have.
So, who are we? Let's try again. So, the two Lukes, right?
Yeah, two Lukes. Luke squared.
Luke squared, yeah. I'm Luke 1, and I've got my MSIPs.
Yeah, I'm Luke A. I'm not being Luke 2.
Okay, fair enough, yeah, okay. Luke A.
Luke, actually, that doesn't make sense at all, does it?
No, it's fine, I'm happy with that.
I'll be Luke 10. I don't want to be a single digit number that's not 1.
Ben 10 is over there. Introduce yourself, Ben 10.
I'm Luke 10 and I'm a senior buyer.
How long have you been doing procurement?
For about 3 years, 2.5 years, coming up to 3 years.
Nice.
So on my level 4 SIPs, but got a lot to learn.
Levels 5 and 6, get them under your belt, mate.
Yeah, and that'll be the journey that we're going to take you on. So make sure you listen to the end of the podcast to see. I think either it's going to go one of two ways. Either it's going to be really useful, and I'm going to absolutely smash and get FSIPs straight away, or
insanity is possible. Yeah. So I think where it came from me is I did the MSIPs journey, and I ended up talking to myself. So I thought, I'm talking to myself, and now there's a colleague who looks a lot like me with the same name. I might as well just record it and put it out there and see if anyone else can benefit from a big juicy SIPs tip.
Hire a CPO.
We'll be giving you lots of SIPs tips, some big old tips to help you get through your SIPs. So if you like a nice big tip,
Gonna dip into it every now and then.
Yeah. So if you want some more SIP tips, just like, subscribe, join, say hello, maybe come back again.
Make sure you tell your procurement friends. I don't have any procurement friends, so I don't like anyone that I work with. But apart from that, there's got to be some people out there who like their colleagues. In fact, if you don't like your colleagues, send them this video. And if you have been sent this video, if you have been sent this audio, then either the person really hates you, or they woke up today and ate Cheerios, but you'll never know which is which.
Most likely they hate you though.
Or they ate Cheerios. Got to keep it mysterious.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you don't like someone, send it on to them.
Just make their day as painful as this 4 minutes has been for you so far.
I think who would I put forward for procurement's sexiest man? It's kind of awkward because I don't really know anyone apart from Luke 10 and myself and my boss. So probably just have to Google some procurement names because it's a pretty low bar from our side. So yeah, if you reckon you're above a 5 out of 10 and could be procurement's next top model, just reach out to us.
Yeah, we'd probably reach him for a 5 out of 10 as well.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think.
I don't know, your beard trim's alright.
Yeah, thank you. Got trim yesterday, but it'll all be looking this fresh. So maybe we should talk about the economics of getting a haircut, because this could kind of feed into opportunity cost.
It could do actually. So
let's say you've got one barber who charges £25 for a haircut, and one barber who charges £10 for a haircut, or let's say £5 for a haircut, so 5 times more expensive. But maybe the opportunities that you'd be getting with a haircut that's 5 times better would outweigh the cost.
So that barber is so skilled that you're getting 5 times the benefit.
Yeah, you're paying 5 times extra for the haircut, but you're getting 10 times as many opportunities,
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same for you, but I'm ridiculously loyal to my barber. Sometimes he fucks it up and I just say, yeah, all right, nice one.
Maybe that is kind of an insight into the way that some of the procurement stakeholders are. They're loyal to one supplier because of one time when they gave them an alright service.
Yeah, maybe. It's a bit of a weird thing with service, isn't it? I've thought about it. I played around with a Turkish, and that sounds weird, doesn't it? Played around with the Turkish barbers, and I came out with a very, very short trim.
Yeah, they do love a short one, the Turkish barbers.
Yeah, put a wet towel on my head, which was kind of unnerving, actually.
Yeah, maybe also if a Turkish barber is going to charge you an extra £5, but they also give you a little massage, as some of them do. Ladies probably won't know about this, but when they give you a little arm massage or like a face massage or something.
They use a massage gun on my head.
Yeah, so that makes you feel better, so you're not just going for a haircut with those suppliers, you're actually going for like a personal and emotional rejuvenation, Is that even a word?
Rejuvenation, yeah, that's a great word.
That's word of the day. Comment rejuvenation in the. I don't know if there are comments on this.
Tweet us Let's Talk Procurement, yeah.
Yeah, CPO.
No, not Diver CPO, mate. We can't use that, remember. We are recording the pod in a pod. Currently surrounded by people who all have expertise in legal, and none of them are willing to support us fight. Whatever his name is, Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot more money than, certainly than me. I mean, I'm sure he's got more than £11 in his bank.
He's probably that level of rich where he's got a bank account in the Caymans.
I mean, do you think his barber comes to his house and he just pays £500?
Yeah, for sure. He's one of them ones that gets a haircut once a week or something like that.
On set before he records.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be the dream, wouldn't it?
What about Jake Humphrey, the one who does
I've met him once. I actually met him once. Yeah. He's taller than I thought he'd be. No, I wouldn't say mates.
Mates.
I met him and Rio Ferdinand at the same time. BT were really struggling with their marketing. Both of those were contracted to BT at the time, so they just brought them into the exhibition. People just went and talked to them.
The muscles. We'd have to say BT now, or do you have to say TNT Sports? I don't know. Anyway,
there's many channels available. It's not all about.
There are other channels available.
TB Sports.
Sounds like BBC. I'm not allowed to advertise a specific company.
Yeah, but I don't want to get censored on episode 1.
Yeah, that is true. But anyway, I reckon we've talked a load of shite for episode 1.
Reckon?
We will have a mixture of talking shite, but also sip stuff.
So the bit you don't know is Luke 10 is the CEO of segmentation. Now I know you're going to think that sounds like a load of bollocks, and to be honest, it is.
Yeah.
But his role is to segment episodes into sort of various areas. So what are your thoughts so far on that?
Well, considering this is a role that I found out about 30 seconds earlier, I haven't really given it too much thought. But one thing that I know for certain, well, obviously we're going to have the SIPS content in there,
That's a good start.
kind of related to a lot of case study type stuff, because I don't just want to go through word by word the content or the books or whatever, but kind of relating it to a real life example, probably helping myself learn best. So that'll be a large part of it. Also, I really want to do a segment on big procurement fuck-ups.
Can you say that?
Procurement fuck-ups.
Yeah.
Twice, hopefully.
Okay.
Procurement,
If you can't.
procurement mess-ups.
Yeah. Fuck-ups.
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to have a little theme song for it, which is just a duck singing a little song.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good idea actually, because when you're doing your SIPS journey, it's all very textbooky. How do you make it real? So there's going to be people that are just ordering the same old bit of hardware day in, day out, who don't know, some of the other context. Yeah, guess we can give you that life experience. Certainly, as a MSIPS, I can share my knowledge with your little level 4.
No, that's well, I was going to say it's 4 levels more than 0, but I don't even think that's a thing. 3 levels more than 0. You've got 1, 2, and 3. But I would say I have a varied experience in procurement in terms of procuring different types of things day to day, mainly IT, but also kind of a bit of professional services, training, consultancy type stuff. But obviously it doesn't have to be just kind of like examples aligned exactly to actual procurement. It could be just like, you're buying,
barber.
Yeah, your barber, exactly. You're buying the fake, I should say the real Roy bands,
yeah.
Roy bands of someone down the road. That's
on holiday.
On holiday, yeah. Yeah.
Sunbathe on the beach and.
Yeah, so maybe that could be episode about negotiation.
Get your Roy bands 50% off.
Exactly. Yeah, we could kind of help you.
No, that's interesting. I mean, have you ever negotiated with your barber?
I would never. I don't think I could ever do that. I did accidentally yesterday when I got my trim. Normally it's...
You got that done yesterday? Fucking hell.
It is fresh. It's fresh. I know you can't see this on the recording, but it's absolutely fresh. Like, if you touched it, you'd probably cut your finger. That's how sharp it is. But anyway, what was I saying?
It's a bit wonky.
Yeah, that's the style.
Fuck me, that's awful.
Moving on.
You say about when you went there yesterday, did you negotiate?
Yeah, basically, I tried a negotiation strategy of saying, it's 15, isn't it? When actually it was 18. And it definitely didn't work, because he said, no, it's 18, and laughed in my face. But I mean, I don't think I would have the cojones. I didn't have to say balls, which I was not wanting to say. Balls to negotiate with a barber before the trim. If you're going to negotiate, like the kind of, and just one more thing, negotiation tactic.
Yeah.
That would maybe be best for a barber, because they, you put a lot of responsibility into a barber's hands when you you give them your livelihood for the next month, really, don't you? You give them your head for the next month. So what they decide to do with that head is that could
So you're saying
really affect your life for the next month.
Let them trim your head, and then when they're done, then you tell them, actually.
Yeah, because they don't take payment before, do they? Well, mine doesn't. They always take payment after. Maybe you could just kind of like maybe what we could do is change the culture, because a lot of times when you get a bad haircut, you just don't. Like, I've got a bad haircut before and I've been like, oh yeah,
yesterday,
it's
mate.
great, it's great, and then you just walk out the shop and you're crying. Sorry, that was just me. Maybe you don't cry when you walk out the shop, but
you do feel disheartened actually sometimes.
Yeah, and it's like you can't really speak up. Well, you could, but it's difficult. So that's another thing we want to do with the podcast, is change the way that people react when they've got a bad haircut. You know, if you've got a bad haircut, speak up about it. You went opposite there.
No, you just don't worry about it. Make sure you have a go at your barber.
That is also another option.
I think that's given everyone a flavour of what we're about. Thank you to our CEO of segmentation, and we're back for more.
Action.
You know that's a good thing to do, actually. Seriously. So if you clap it, the editor can see when the sound bar goes up, so they know something's happened, like you fucked up. So you just go,
bro, what are you talking about, man?
Isn't that when you do video, so you can match the video to the audio?
Maybe. But also he can see the clap on the audio file, so you just go, oh.
Clapping cheeks.
Clapping cheeks, yeah.
High spikes. Lots of high spikes. This has been a great start. Maybe we just need to kind of like every so often have like that ramble episode.
Just a 5 minute.
A ramble.
25. Yeah. Well, we ramble more than
we do. We ramble, but we also talk some sense occasionally. Maybe that if there's an episode that we think's a bit boring, and we just throw one of these like in the middle of it.
I think if you were a footballer, I'd call you Soul Ramble.
So Ramble.
Yeah.
Have you seen those 11s that are going about when you make like a I don't know, a vagina 11 or something, or like maybe we could do like a
knob 11 and you just have dick on already in there.
Yeah. Like I don't know, sexual 11 Aaron Rams males.
I like that, Aaron Rams males. He actually quite likes podcasts as well, so maybe one day
maybe he's listening right now to us.
Maybe.
See, we're getting on board with the football community here, which I like, because we talked about Max Power. I have no idea if
I don't think
this is before or after.
This is before Max Power, yeah.
Before Max Power, so we're going to talk about Max Power at some point. I thought, well, originally we were just going to kind of record a bit of something to put in the middle. We'll talk about what we're going to do in the podcast, what we're going to talk about. We kind of went on a bit of a tangent, which...
Yeah, I think if we start here... Right. So I think you think, like, you know, we were sitting down and we were saying, well, what is the purpose of this podcast? Like, why would someone listen to this? And to be honest, I still haven't got a clue. But what would you expect to get out of it? You don't know, do you? Enjoyment. Pleasure.
A good, warm, tingly feeling inside.
We're not giving anyone bonus, mate.
How do you know?
Well, we might be.
People could be into some weird stuff.
Yeah, okay.
I see this podcast as sort of being like a light-hearted way for people to learn about procurement and SIPs and how the exams are structured and lots of different things. Not necessarily kind of like, you know, going through each module. Module. That's it. Module in specific detail about everything you need to learn. Maybe people will just kind of, you know, if you want to take a break for 25 minutes, or you're driving to the exam centre, or you're walking somewhere, you just stick this on, and you listen to this, and you have a bit of a, I don't know, cringe is probably the right. I was going to say laugh, but cringe is probably
cringe. Yeah,
cringe at us, and then your mind gets taken off the exams for a bit, and then you go and come back refreshed. You're ready to do some proper work.
So you're saying this isn't proper? Well, I kind of see what you mean. Look, I think when I was doing my MSIPs, I kind of noticed that there's a real lack of actual useful material out there.
Just slated everywhere.
Yeah. I think we saw like one podcast, and it's some American bloke who's just talking out of, you know, reading a textbook or something. I won't name him, but I think his name was a Knob, was it?
Reminds me of Dickhead.
Yeah, no, we won't. I actually wrote his Knob Noman. That's what his name rhymes with. But we won't disclose that. And we thought, well, I was sitting there doing my exams, and you've got a bit of tutorship, and yes, that's kind of helpful. It's a serious couple of hours. Your brain is fried. But actually, in the way of working from home or taking the dog for a walk, there's all these things you can do where just chuck some headphones in and you could listen to a bit of content, and actually sometimes information sticks when you're hearing it from someone else in a more obscure way, or you've got a light-hearted example to go with it. Yeah, absolutely. So what sort of things do you think we're going to cover then? I know we're not going into modules as such, but have you sort of got any ideas for topics?
Yeah, I mean, what is procurement actually sounds like a good episode to me, because I have loads of people, non-procurement, like family and friends, that ask me what is procurement, and I think it would be good to kind of like, instead of, build relationships and talk socially to them and be a good son or grandson, what we could just do instead is tell them to F off and send them the podcast.
Send them a podcast,
Send them the podcast. I think also...
So if your mum or your nan is now listening to this, you've just told them to...
Hi mum, hi nan.
Yeah, you should probably apologise.
Yeah, I'm sorry for saying F off. I really didn't mean it. At least I didn't say the full word.
What? Yeah, you did.
I didn't say frick off.
I swear you did.
Full word. I said F off, didn't I?
Well, it was
VAR. Cultural differences, contract negotiation, stakeholder management. Those
bit
are
of everything, yeah.
Quite important subjects that we should go into. And kind of one thing for me, and mum and nan, close your ears, because I'm going to say the word procurement fuck ups. That's something that I want to talk about. Just kind of, I think it's probably a way that we can get case study information into your brains and talk about it in a funny way, and just kind of, relate stories of procurement fuck ups. We were trying to come up with names for that, weren't we? Like fuck up Thursday, or
fuck up Thursday. Was it
Friday firing squad?
Yeah, Friday firing squad. Yeah.
I think that requires too much explanation. I don't think we can use.
I've got duck up Thursday. Just in case we had to censor it. Yeah, duck up Thursday.
Well, if every other word in that sentence had just been bleeps, then we're probably going to go with duck up Thursday.
Duck up Thursday, yeah. So coming soon to a Thursday near you. Yeah, that'll be an interesting segment. I think it's important to tell the viewers, the listeners, that you are the CEO of segmentation.
So,
obviously, you'll be in charge of segmenting things.
Yep.
Thanks for that.
Cheers, Jeff.
And then, so a lot of topics are repeated throughout your SIPS journey. And I think if we can provide some ear candy on those topics, bit of pleasure, a bit of laughter, and a bit of bonus material for you.
Tips as well. Sneak some tips in there.
Yeah, I think, did we mention that earlier? SIPS tips.
Well, we don't know where this segment is going yet, so we might have done.
Yeah, apologies if you've been overly bombarded with the word tips.
I think that it's just a way of getting it more into people's brain. Not going to forget it now.
That's it. Yeah, you won't forget the word SIPS now.
Yeah, which is, if that's the only thing you take away from this podcast, then at least you learned something.
Yeah, exactly that. So I think you should just come along, join us for the journey, learn a few bits. Obviously, have a look at the episodes. If you already know what procurement is, you probably won't need to listen to the What is Procurement episode. But as I say, send it on to your nan or whoever. But if you do see a couple of topics that you fancy, give them a listen.